Hey guys, what's going on? It's CarsWithBen here, and welcome to my longest video ever. All my GTA cars that I've acclaimed over the whole 7 years this game's been out. And yeah, let's get straight into it because it's a long one. So let's do it. This is my sports car garage slash sports classics, and I'm in the process of sort of changing around. So let's go. Okay, first up, standard Comet. I'm planning to do something with that. Not much really, so it's just there at the moment. Secondly, the Debauchee. I forget the name, Spectre, from obviously looking like from Spectre, I'm guessing. Love this car, I think it looks great. It's definitely worth adding to the collection. It's got a lot of good looks, and I just went for a standard grey on that one. Alright, next one it is the Debauchee 770. This one, I really like the look of this one. It's a bit more of a longer version. It's more of the 177. But yeah, definitely an enjoyable, really cheap car for the price in GTA. Next up, the sports classics. We have a Debauchee Rapid GT Classic based off one of the James Bond Aston Martins, as far as I can remember. Really great car. Really had to have this one in the collection. Alright, next up, the Lampadati Cisco. Just bought this when those old add-ons came out. Can't remember which one it was called, but I thought it was quite a worthwhile car. It looks quite nice. Sounds incredible. So really like that. Went for a weird colour on that one. Okay, moving over to the Italian sort of side of things. Sports classics wise, we've got the Grotti Turismo, the Ferrari F40, looks excellent, had to have it in red. So yeah, there's a lot of cars to get through, so if you want to leave a like, subscribe, please feel free to do so. But yes, I think we've got like a total of 70-80 cars possibly to get through on this video, so... Alright, next up, Pegassi Infernus Classic. I love this in white. Went for the red wheels. If you're going for the sports classics, you've got to own one of these. It's, I just really love this car. Alright, next up is a Pegassi Torero, obviously a Lamborghini Countach. Went for a nice little lime green on this one, and don't really use it much, but I think it has to really suit the collection, fits well in. Alright, next up is the Lampadati Viserys, a Tommaso Pantera, I believe, and I put it in yellow, so it's a nice mix of colours in this garage. And to be honest, one of my favourite garages. I really enjoy this one. Got the double exhaust on the end, looking very saucy. And finally, not Italian, which is British, is the Osler Ardent, otherwise known as the Lotus Esprit. And I have this with the guns, and it's white. And yeah, I like that car because I think it looks excellent. And I do use it sometimes, to be fair, even now. So yeah, this is a 37-minute video. As you can tell, it's a bloody long video. It could be longer, to be honest. But I really wanted to do a garage tour of all my cars, and here we are. So we're making, a video about every single one. I'm super, super excited to go over each one, and I've always wanted to do this video, but I knew it would take a lot of effort, and I've just got a bit of spare time, and I thought, you know what, GTA is coming to an end. Here are all my cars. So yeah, if you don't know, this is Cars with Ben. I make car content, game-wise and blog content, anything to do with cars, and I hope you enjoy my channel. So let's move on to the next garage. Okay, so moving on to the next garage, and this is my muscle car garage with one extra space left in it. I haven't really finished this off, but we've still got some more to go, but let's get on with it. Alright, so we've got the Albany Buccaneer. I'm planning to do this with a Benny's vehicle, but at the moment it's just standard. I've done a few bits to it, and I quite like it, but I'm not sure what... I've had this car for quite a while, and I've always wanted to do something with it. It's quite a customisable car, so definitely recommend picking this one up. Alright, moving on to the next one, we have the Imponte Nightshade. This came out in a DLC a good few years ago now, but I always really liked the shape of it, and it was quite cool. However, I never drive it, so probably not a buy I would recommend, but still a good car. Next, the Imponte Dukes. Definitely do need to own this one. A new version has just come out, but this is the original. I tried to make it look like Dom's Charger from Fast and Furious, but I couldn't really remember, so I didn't bother to look at the picture. However, I think this looks quite good, and I really like this one, yeah, so it had to be in a collection, really. Moving on to the Vapid Blade. This is, again, a really old DLC car, but nonetheless DLC car. Don't use it at all, but I think it looks great. Probably might change the look of it because this has got a good look to it. Never used, you never see it online, but unique car. Alright, next one, the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire. This is a brand new, pretty much in the last year DLC. amazingly fast car, really good. I think they've really got the Dodge Hellcat there. So love this car, definitely worth buying. $700,000, but if you've got the cash, get this one. This is a good one. And also, it looks pretty much like the real thing. So, all right, the Albany Hermes came out for free in a DLC. Oh, one of the Christmas days a few years back. Just logged on to get it. Never driven it, and never really done too much to it. But it's a muscle car, so it has to be in the collection. I do kind of like the way it's got racing stripes. I did a few things to it, but really never driven it. Again, a Vapid Ellie. I'm going to customise this one because it's one of my favourites in the muscle car collection, or old American style collection. This one, obviously Ford Mustang looks fantastic. It's not good in blue, I admit. Well, it's kind of okay in blue, but it definitely needs a change. And the Vapid Click, I believe it's called. Again, free car I got with the free Christmas update. Great car, looks fantastic. I got rid of the bow on top, even though you can put that back on. I think, classic American car, looks great. And then finally, the Vapid Peyote. This now is available for sale, but at the time, this is in the collection due to the fact that really you couldn't find this car really very easily. So every time I saw it, I really wanted to just get it. And now I found this one. I'm going to try and do the Benny's upgrade next for this. So things to come for that. And then I've got a space for something free here. So that will be upcoming. Okay, moving on to the third garage. This is my tuned vehicles / Benny's vehicles, official Benny's vehicles. Now, there's quite a lot of variation in here, so let's bear with me and I'll try and get through it and explain each of my reasonings for each car. But I think you'll like the selection here because there's quite a few good cars. Alright, starting with the Panto. I recently put this in this garage because it didn't really have anywhere else to go, but it is a bit of a customizable car. I think it looks great. I just really went all out with this one, and this one came out, I think, in the business update a good few years back. It has got a lot of customized stickers on it and luggage, and I think it just looks really unique. These are small vehicles, by the way. The Grotti Brioso Fiat 500. This is literally just for racing when I felt like it. It was only literally 150,000, I think, so very cheap for the time. Never use it, but useful in races. And similarly, I have a Mini Cooper, I can't remember now, the Weenie Wizzy Classic. Weenie Easy Classic. Brilliant car, definitely must own. I think it's $400,000, but it is pretty much identical and it drives like a go-kart. So if you want to have some fun, this car is recommended because, that wooden finish is fantastic. And there's a lot to do with it, really. You can really do a hell of a lot with that. I did a video on it on my old channel a while back and it got quite a few views, so I'm happy with that. Alright, the Bravado Rat Truck. Never used it, but I always wanted to do one, and it was kind of an old thing. It was a good while ago when the game came out. But I think it looks quite unique. I really like the orange that I put with it, but there's quite a lot of things you can do with this. There's not a lot of things you can't do, but now there's a lot more vehicle choice out there. There's more pickups. You can sort of go for other things. But the Rat Truck is really unique in that you can just update so many different things about it, especially with these side exhausts from the engine. Moving on to the first Benny's vehicle, which is the Vapid Slam Band Custom. Really, this is my first Benny's vehicle, and I went all out with it. You can't really tell straight away from the outside, but I really like it. It looked hella sick, especially with the sort of red, blue, and black look. It just kind of works. Those blue flames, I like the blue flames. So many things you can do to that vehicle again, so recommend getting one of those if you fancy a Benny's vehicle, because there's so many now. Alright, next Benny's vehicle. We have the Willard Faction Custom. Always wanted to do one of these because it's effectively a Buick, whatever it's called, I forget the name now. But it is really, really good, and I just went for a really standard look, and the interior went quite all out in the interior, especially with Benny's vehicles. Not much to say about this one, don't really use it, but it just had to be in the Benny's collection. I really like it, and there's a hell of a lot more now anyway, so I might get rid of some of these soon. Next Benny's vehicle, and really one of the best vehicles I actually chose to buy, the LG Custom, or the Nissan GTR. So the free GTR costs nothing, but this custom upgrade, if you don't know, costs $950,000, so it is very expensive, basically $1 million if you include all the extras. But I think one of my I use this quite I still use it to this day quite a lot. I think it's a very unique vehicle, and just it's a Fast and Furious car, looks fantastic, does pretty much everything the speed wise that you want. Okay, moving on to the Karin Buto, a classic GTA car, which everyone needs to have in their collection. And I recently upgraded this because I just looked at it and thought it looked a bit bland, and I put this cool livery on it, did a few things to it, and it's probably one of the ultimate drift cars in the game. If you're a car fan, you probably already know that. One of the best cars to use, handling wise, and has been in GTA since the GTA 4, at least I can think of. So yeah, definitely had to be had. This one, just awesome car, and really like the livery to be fair. So it's really customizable again. Alright, next is the Dinka Ballistic Hanjo, which is a pretty new Honda Civic that's been added literally in the last couple of updates. This is sort of inspired by the No Good Racing. If you know, I'll just tell you to Google search that one because it's really awesome. But it's a Honda Civic, and I went for the really low slammed sort of vehicle way, and it's got the roof rack, orange and white. Didn't really mean to come out like that, but you know what, looks quite good. Quite happy with it, and I love this car. Never use it though because it won't go over any hills. So yeah, this is just a show car if I ever want to use it for that. So yeah, definitely recommend getting one of those. All right, the car that got me probably one of my most viewed videos on the channel, the Maxwell Asbo. If you've seen that video, you probably know this was a very good car for me when it came out. It really helped my channel. Really like this car. Obviously the Vauxhall Corsa, went all out for it. Literally I went all out for this one. I don't usually, as you can tell, but customised every aspect of it. Don't know why I went for a yellow, just fancied it, but this is the customised car section. And yeah, roof rack again, really love this one. It had to be in the collection. I don't know what I'll do with it, probably keep it to be fair. But there you have it guys, that is pretty much my customised car collection and Benny's vehicles. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, moving on to the next garage, which is a random collection of vehicles that I got when I originally started the game. So yeah, I know it's going to be completely random, but there's no order. I will put them in some kind of categorization soon. But first up, the D-Class Sabre Turbo, one of my original cars that I got, muscle cars, and you can tell that I had no money at the time, and I kept it exactly like this, sort of from the bottom to the top. Just building my way up. Really great muscle car. I had to have that one in the collection. Okay, the next up, the Debauchi JB700, a really awesome sports classic that I need to put into a sports classic garage. I think this one looks great. Obviously, styled it off the James Bond DB5. It's not the one with the guns. It's the original, but I actually do sometimes use this still, even though because it just looks cool and iconic. Next up is the Imponte Phoenix, a really, really cool car, a really underrated muscle car. The whole garage really is underrated for this. Obviously, all day one cars. I think that the spoiler looks fantastic. A muscle car that is never used and is really quick. Very, very good. Love that car, and it just looks iconic, really. Especially the colour scheme. You can just do so much of it, I think, as well. Alright, next up, one of the best GTA sports cars that ever existed was a Pegassi Zentorno. For $750,000, it was very cheap, and everyone bought this car. It had to be bought. It just looked like a cheese grate at the back, but it was fantastic. And I really, really enjoyed this car. Definitely needed to be in a collection. I just used it all the time for any kind of mission. So yeah, obviously now no one uses it, but still, great car. Next up, the Grotti Stinger GT, an underrated sports classic again. I think this car is fantastic. It was about $1 million, but for what it was based off a Ferrari 250 GTO, I think. Sounded amazing. Sometimes still use it. I actually acquired it through a glitched bit of money. I didn't mean to, but obviously now it's not worth anything. Because that's what happens for some reason. And then yeah, I think it looks great. I do love the sound of this car. Never use it, but one of the OGs from day one. It's a fantastic looking car. They really got it right for sort of day one cars, really, to be fair. So, and the engine bay looks fantastic. So, car that's utterly awesome. Has to be in a collection. Next up is the famous Grotti Cheetah, which has been in the game GTA series for years. Don't really know what it is. I'm not going to bother telling you what I think it is, but it looks great in blue, and that's the colour I went for. So yeah, it's I never really use it. I use it for races actually, which is quite good. But other than that, never gets used. But it was a fantastic car when it originally came out. Next up is the Albany Alpha. I have no idea why I bought this car. It was okay. It came out in the business update, if you're wondering, and it was just unique at the time, I guess. I think it was 150,000, something like that. So very cheap, and it's just in this garage. I really might get rid of it, to be fair, but it is a cool car. Just a bit different. Next up is the Bravado Buffalo S. This is the not just any Bravado Buffalo. This is the Franklin Bravado Buffalo, and yeah, got this from the original OG days of getting that car when no one had it and drove it for ages. So I actually did use this car quite a bit, bit of a history for it. Enjoyed it, did it up a bit, and it does look true to the Dodge Charger, so no complaints there. Obviously, you can buy the original now without having to glitch it, so there you go. Anus Cognoscenti Cabrio, I think, based off the Bentley Continental convertible coupe, whatever. To be fair, this looks great. One of the OG cars. I thought it was a cool car, and you never see this car anymore ever. But to be fair, it's not a great handling car. Yeah, but original OG car, I love that one. Okay, the original Pegassi Vaca, fantastic car. No one ever owned this. You never see these anymore, but still a really good car. To be fair, never need to drive it, but a fast car nonetheless. And just a Lamborghini Gallardo. Obviously, had to have it in yellow. So yeah, and that is pretty much my completely random original day one garage. I think it looks. We'll sort of order it soon, but yeah, let's move on to the next garage. Moving on to garage number 5, which is a sports classic. Sports classics slash sports. I do really need to organise all these sports. I am in the process of doing it, but let's get started. The Karin 190Z. I love this car. Sounds amazing, and actually, to be fair, looks fantastic. There's no reason why you should not own this car. It was a fairly new buy, but it just looks. I think the black and orange, frankly, looks fantastic. All right, the Vapid Retinue. Never really use it, but it is a Ford Escort. So when it first hit the GTA market, had to have it for about 650,000 or something like that. Off the top of my head, quite expensive, but it is a bit of an iconic car. Again, though, I never use it, so it's quite fast to be fair for its size, so not too bad. Next up is the Ubermax Sentinel Classic. I had to have one of these as well. It was a car that I really, really like the look of. Obviously, BMW M3. Went for a sort of a grey and red wheels. And yeah, can't say too much about it, other than I think it looks very true to what it is meant to be. It's a classic old two-door coupe. So BMW, yeah. All right, next up is the Dinka Jester. Obviously, the Toyota Supra did nothing to this car, so apologies for what it looks like. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it should be in yellow, but I am planning to do this. I kind of just bought it just to do bits, and then kind of didn't play the game after a while. But the lights, I really hate the headlights, to be fair. Next up is a P-Fister Comet Classic. I don't know why this is really here. Should be in the off-road, but it's still a sports classic, so it's just sort of sitting here at the moment. Think it looks great, and I do actually use that quite a bit. It's very good for off-roading and just speeding across the desert or something like that. Next up is the Dinka Jester, new version, which I've had since day one, really. And I did actually use this back in the day. This was one of my main cars, and I used it 2 missions and back. It was a very fast, reliable car, and yeah, cannot complain. Really like this one, but a bit of an old one now, to be fair, so it doesn't really suit the scene, but still used, I think, in car meets. Next up is the Dubauchi Massacro, another car that came out in the business update, and I used this sports car pretty much all the time back in the day. Obviously, an Aston Martin in some form, I think, Vanquish, I think, but yeah, not much to say about this one other than I use it quite a bit, and it was a good car. Next up is the original Invertero Coquette. This car did get used a bit. I bought it quite late on, just because I kind of fancied the look of it and went for a weird look. They are some of the original day ones, so I do apologise for that. Some of the looks aren't fantastic, and we are talking a few years old here, but yeah, went for that one. Okay, another really underrated car. I just want to get that out there. The Lampadati Fiora GT. I think the colour scheme I went for looks fantastic with the sort of black and yellow pearlescent sort of two-tone. I really like. I don't know what I did for this one, but it looks great. never used actually, and still I think looking really good, that car. Alright, this track day car, the Hijack Ruston, is the last one in the garage for number 5, and it's never really used, but I kind of just fancy the track day car, and it is quite quick for its cornering, so recommend if you are wanting to get away fast in a mission version. And yeah, that's pretty much my sports and sports classic cars again. Let's move on to garage number 6, because I think there's some great ones in this one. But yeah, they will be sort of reorganised again, and they need to be categorised for the next one. But yeah, really enjoyed this garage, so let's move on. Okay, everyone, this is the one you've all been waiting for. It is the biggie. It is the office garage. This is number 6 now, and this is a combination of supercars, four-door cars, four-door luxury cars, and off-road cars. Let's do it. Okay, so as you can see, this is my supercar section. I know this is kind of sad, but whatever, I've got loads of cars on this. Saved up for this one for ages. Yeah, this is the Pegassi Tempesta, the upgraded version of the Vaca, or the newer version, the Huracan, the Lamborghini Huracan. Looks great, use it in missions, use it quite a lot at the moment whenever I'm on it. And yeah, that had to be part of the collection because it's a supercar. So yeah, looks great in that colour two-tone as well. So yeah, love that, recommend that one, and looks true to itself. Next up is the Truffade Nero, or the Bugatti Chiron, and used to use it quite a lot. Sort of the predecessor to the Adder. Looks great. They've really done it well. They've got the air spoiler as well, suspension spoiler, whatever you call it. So I think it's a different car. It looks great. It's really high end for its price. So yeah, really enjoy that one. Next up, Chevelle Taipan, really good car, but I actually won this one. Very first one I won from the Wheel of Fortune, and to be honest, it is a good car. I've kept it practically stock, so not much to say about that, but other than that, yeah, good win, to be fair, so happy with that one. Next up is the the Grotti Italia GTO, my apologies, the Ferrari F12, really a beast of a car for 1.9 million, probably the most expensive car in the whole thing, really, because I don't buy the really expensive ones as much, but really like this one. Yeah, it's white, it's really aggressive, use it all the time, really. The Grotti Bestia GTS, which is the next one, the Ferrari F, I think, but looks great. Don't really use it, but has to go with the other Grotti, sorry. And yeah, you can only put 2 people in it. Okay, next is the brand new Invertero Coquette D10. This is officially a sports car, but it shouldn't be in this garage. I just had to put it somewhere for now. There's going to be a mix-up of cars. I'm going to change them. But looks fantastic in yellow. I think you'll agree. Definitely own this one. Brand new. And it is a must for the new garage. 1.5 million it costs now, so yeah, definitely recommend getting the new Coquette or the Corvette. So yeah, really looking forward to driving that more. Okay, moving on to the 4-door luxury cars. This is floor number 2. It's the Anus Windsor, and in a strange cheetah camo, you might ask. Yeah, it is a bit of a weird one, but I just put it in this, and this is how it looks now. And I've had a few compliments on it. It does stand out at like a show or something if you're using it. And you know, no one's going to miss you in that. And I think it looks, as a car, it's great. Fantastic luxury car. Again, I probably will change it, but you know, there's a lot of work to be done on it. Next up is I forget this because I never use it. I just won it from the Emperor, I believe. Just won it from another car, the second car I've won from the Wheel of Fortune. Never use it. Should be in the supercar section, so we'll move that down. But other than that, it came out a few years ago. Good for races. That's about it, really. Next up, the Benefactor Schwarzer, a black sort of Mercedes that I really wanted to. I really like this car. It's been in the game since day one, and I just had to have it for the luxury coupe sort of section. And yeah, going to keep that one for a little bit. Never use it, but it has to be in the collection. Okay, so this is obviously the Benefactors. The next car I'm going to show you has to be used. You have to listen up here. Has to be used in all missions. If you need to transport 4 people around, the Benefactor, I forget the name completely, but the 4-door Benefactor Shafter, that's it, is a V12 armoured beast. It sounds incredible. It's really probably the fastest four-door car in the game, I believe. And 4 people in it. I use this for missions, or even not even for missions. If you want to get about, this car is incredibly fast, so very underrated. Next up, a bit of a weird one, the Volcar Warrener, I think the Nissan Skyline. It's a 4-door car. It didn't really have a place in the garage, so I just put it in this one for now. Even though it shouldn't be here, it really doesn't look like it should be here, but it's still a great car, so yeah, props for that. Had that for a while. Next up is the Vista Neon, the Porsche Taycan Electric. Definitely a funny one because I just bought this one. It's very fast but very quiet. Had to have it in a collection, really. And yeah, I might change the colour because grey's a bit grey. But I think a really cool car. It's electric, it's fast, and it's just a different car to the series. And for 1.5 million, it was a lot of money. So yeah, that's what I have to say about the Porsche Taycan Vista Neon. 4-door car deserves to be there. Okay, next up is the Jugular, the Ocelot. I forget the name of it again, but the 4-door Jag, really awesome car. Just came out really not that long ago. Had to have it in a collection. Again, another 1.5 million or 1.2 million. A lot, but a really bit of a beast. To be fair, it has to be in the collection because it just looks great. They really got it just right for this one. So very happy with this one. Moving on, we've got my off-road section. I have another car, the third car I've won in an off-road on the Wheel of Fortune, the Benefactor XLS. Never going to use it. Like it, put some off-road tyres on it. That's about it. Never going to use it. So, moving on, the Pegassi Taurus, which is in orange. I'm never going to use this again. Probably will trade it in. It was cool when it came out, and it was only 400,000, 500,000. Basically, the Lamborghini Urus. Never going to use it. Will sell it. Don't recommend it, to be honest. Probably the car we'll use least here. Next up is the Canis Free Crawler, a really awesome off-road vehicle. I do love my off-road vehicles, by the way, so this is a full off-road section. Yeah, bought this because it looks great. Looked like it should go off-road. Maybe not great. Doesn't look great, but there you have it. Just use it occasionally. And it's 4-door, to be fair, so not too bad. Okay, my favourite off-road vehicle in here is the Bravado Rumpo Custom. As you can see, this has been pretty much built for off-road, and I've only just got this, but it had to be bought. Bloody awesome car. And look at it, it just looks great with the roof rack, the yellow wheels that we've gone for, the ladder, the tyre. You can get 4 people in this. It's just an awesome van off-roader. Drive up Mount Chiliad all day, so that's what I bought it for. Next up, the Vapid Contender, an underrated off-road vehicle, and pretty big to be fair. Never use it, but it is on orange, which looks quite cool, and its cab is massive. As you can see, 4 people and an extended cab. It is ridiculous, but I think it looks great. So if you had to go in an off-road lobby, I would suggest using this. It's a good car. It looks a bit unique, and it's kind of faster than most of the others, so that's a good plus point for it. Next up, the OG, the Benefactor Dubster 6x6, and just want to say for 250,000, an absolute bargain. Obviously, based off the Mercedes 6x6, G-Wagon 6x6, whatever, you can actually get 6 people on this car. So not just inside, but 2 people on the back or on the sides. And it might be even more, to be honest. Had this one since it came out, and at the time it was expensive, but it is an awesome. You can get this from Cash and Carry, Warstock Cash and Carry, very cool car. Next up, one of my OGs. Again, if you're listening for this one, get this for your off-road cars and missions. The HVY Insurgent, bomb-proof, looks great in green camo. Massive off-road tyres, just a huge vehicle, really. Anything heist-wise, mission-wise, use this car, get it, it's awesome. So that's pretty much it. That's my off-road vehicles. I hope you enjoyed the massive office garage that I have built over the last however long this game's been out. 3 different vehicles, supercars, luxury 4-door cars, and off-roads. So that has been my office garage. I'm still working on it, but let's move on to garage and the final one, which is garage number 7. So far, this is the final garage, number 7. This is a random, completely storage used garage for mission cars or bikes, and that's pretty much it. Or just anything that I need to use and just has spares. Okay, getting started. A car everyone should own, really. The Carrion Karuma Armoured. Awesome car. Not much to say about that other than use it for missions. Next up is the Imponte Deluxo. Again, another car everyone should own if you are getting around and you need the missiles on it. I don't have them at the moment, but you need the MOC for that, which is another car that I have, or truck. But awesome car. Okay, these cars I'm just going to ignore because they are never used and I'm going to get rid of them. They're just kind of there just in case the races. But probably all going to go soon, and I don't need the Bravado anymore as well, so all of them can go. But yeah, just all the free. They're all free, by the way, so if you want those, you can check them out on the San Andreas Super Autos website. Alright, the bikes. So these are my bikes. I only got 3. The Western Zombie Chopper. Bought this with when the bike DLC came out. Quite liked it. I actually had a few of them, but I got rid of different bikes. Awesome chopper bike. The Dinka Akuma is a very essential vehicle bike for everyone who has this game. Very cheap, that's less than 10 grand, and very fast. Probably one of the fastest vehicles. All you need really is a bike. If I had to say one thing, just get that. Okay, the Nagasaki BF400. Just bought this because I thought off-road bikes, as you can tell I don't know anything about bikes. Off-road bikes are needed. So this is good for races. Would recommend picking this one up. So really I've only got 3 bikes. Next up, the 4th vehicle I have won from the Wheel of Fortune is the Pifista Neon. Just got it, and it's just sat here. Don't really like it, to be honest. Don't like the look of it. It is a supercar, so probably will move it eventually. But yes, I'm not really a fan of it because it doesn't look anything like the Porsche 918, really. But let's end on a positive. On the final car, the awesome Elegy RH8. A car that everyone must have if you first start GTA because it's free and it's fast. So really, but the benefit is get an Akuma and an LG if you're starting out. That's my top tip. Anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been one of the longest YouTube videos I've ever made for any car video. Yeah, this has been my garage tour of 2020 of all my vehicles in GTA Online. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.